Speaker.
Call the Honourable Parakura Horomia.
Mr. Speaker, we will be supporting this bill to the Select Committee stage and see where it goes. But I found that member who I've known for a period of time, who's always been a fair-minded person, even when he was a policeman, to come out with that stuff. It's quite amazing. It's unnerving. It is unnerving that that National Party ignored what the Commission said. And the Commission said about the Auckland City, super city, needed 3 Maori seats. Now, he's danced around, and as he leaves, he's danced around and made all sorts of excuses why this bill isn't important. And if the Maori Party were more influential, and I need to meet to the person who's brought this bill in, then we wouldn't be here today discussing this. And the real test is, the time's come, Mr. Flavel, the time's come to really walk the talk. Because this is a real smack in the face, not just for Maori people, but for the Maori Party. But for the Maori Party. And we strongly support the seats as we did in Bay of Plenty. It was this party that put them up. And you sit here and listen to this hypothesis about the reasons of clutching together cultural aspiration and having special representation by vote. I come from an area where we have a Chinese Maori-speaking mayor, and the Maoris vote for him. And the Maoris vote for him. But it is well known that in local authorities, where the real power is, and God forbid we have just witnessed one of the worst travesties in relation to the Auckland legislation.
Sorry.
Mr. Speaker.
Sorry, it's my mistake. I pushed the wrong button. I apologise.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Don't press it too soon. Mr. Speaker, and I want to remind that member that government saw fit on the 6th of May in 1867 to imbue in legislation Māori seat representation at the local level. I'm sorry that Georgina Tahuhu is not here, because when we put this up the last time, she crossed the floor and voted with us. Tau Henare ran for cover. And Hone Harawira needs to stand up and listen to what Georgina Tahuhu did say in her delivery. She said the issue of representation for Māori in local government is a significant issue. And not just for Māori, it has been around for a long time, as evidenced by a notice in the Auckland Provincial Government's Gazette of Saturday, 6th of May, 1867, when J. Williamson, the superintendent of the Auckland province, gave notice that he had appointed Paore Tuhaira of Ngāti Whātua to give advice. Those Pākehā people from Auckland's tupuna did it, had the guts and gumption to do it. And these ones now turn around and shiver with pain because I've dared to mention that. Shame on you. Shame that you sit there and talk about the Treaty of Waitangi and partnership, but when it is really tested, you won't do it. And I hope the Māori Party does walk the talk. I hope quite certainly that this has brought it to a head, like the ignoring and this fake delivery of the Takutai Moana Bill. And Mr. Speaker, why not have that representation? And John Key did spin around. The Prime Minister did change his mind. And also the same Minister of Health right now, who is professing to helping everybody in New Zealand, was candid enough to move in 2006 to remove the provision in the existing local government law that allows councils to establish Māori seats. He also sought to remove the Bay of Plenty seats, Māori seats. So I can well see why people over there are ducking. But you know, we heard about the issues and the strength of the UN Charter. And we heard the different suggestions from the leaders of the Māori Party and the Prime Minister. And they indiffered. But it was cited at the time that the reason that we have supported the UN Charter, simply in layman's language, because it would support and back up issues that are relevant like this. But alas, it has faded quickly. Barely 6 weeks are over, and it means nothing. What does the treaty mean to us? And certainly the government, Mr. Speaker, kowtowed to Rodney Hyde's threats.
I regret to advise the member that his time has expired.
And